If you haven't seen Dead or Alive, they have brought back the game, okay? They brought back the game Dead or Alive 6. And people are absolutely destroying this game, and rightfully so. Now, I just want to be very clear. I understand this is them bringing back the game. Like, this is Dead or Alive 6 last round, I believe the name of the game is. But I don't care, okay? Like, this is like, I just want to be very clear. I don't care. I don't care if this is them bringing back a game that's already had all this content. I don't care if this is a brand new video game. I don't care if this game never existed before. What I'm telling you is that this level of monetization, and I know this is I know this is like something that's consistent with Dead or Alive, and I know like people have complained about this before, and I know I'm one of the people that have complained about this before with previous entries. I don't care. I will complain about this every fucking time that this happens, because this is unbelievably egregious. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you guys want to see more content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join me every single day, 9 p.m. over on the main channel, where you can catch me live every single day, 9 p.m. Eastern. I hope to see every single one of you there. Now back to the main video. All right, so Dead or Alive 6 has returned, and it has 440 pieces of DLC that is worth, and I'm not kidding, $1,700 of DLC. And this video game has gotten so destroyed in terms of reviews that it's at almost an 80% negative review score on Steam. Only 20% of the reviews are positive. Now, again, this has nothing to do necessarily with the gameplay, right? It's Dead or Alive, boys, right? Let's be real. Has nothing to do with the gameplay. I'm just sick of some studios, okay? And I know Dead or Alive does this, and I believe The Sims does this as well. This level of egregious monetization, this level of just flat out greed is unbelievable. It is sickening. And to see any video game, I don't care what it is, any video game having $1,700 worth of DLC is insane to me. It is like next level egregious nonsense that I could just never, like, I'm not saying don't play the game. Obviously, you want to play the game, I don't care. But what I am saying is that this is what happens when you have whales that are buying this shit. Because the truth is, they would only do this if they feel like they can actually get the money. And they can get the money. That's the sad part. Like, this kind of DLC, when you have this much DLC, I mean, there's people, we did a story a few months ago about a guy who dropped like $30,000 to $60,000. I think it was like $35,000. He dropped $35,000 on NBA 2K in just a couple of months. It's just a couple of months. So think about that, right? So you have people out there that $1,700 in DLC is going to be like whatever for them, as long as they can get, you know, all this stuff that they want in their favorite game. But again, guys, $1,700 is wild, right? So let's kind of go over this and see what's happening here. Dead or Alive is staging a comeback for the 30th anniversary of the fighting series, but judging by the response from players, the first stage of that return is Dead on Arrival, which we're going to look at the Steam numbers in a second. Dead or Alive 6 last round was launched with $1,700 worth of DLC, and very few of the features fighting game fans have come to expect from the genre, and it's taking an absolute feltoning in the Steam reviews. So speaking of Steam reviews, I have the numbers right here, just kind of give you an idea, right? Let me refresh so it's accurate. So right now, it's at 25.81% positive reviews. So basically like 75% negative, okay? 487 people playing the game right now. 1,037 is the peak 2 days ago. It's the peak 2 days ago, so it's already going down. It's bad. It's really bad. Full Metal says it's just costumes. Doom says, yeah, it's mostly costumes. Okay, so Yes, I know that. That's fine. Okay, that's what I'm saying. It's fine. I get it. Okay, I get it that it's just costumes. I get it that it's just cosmetic stuff. The point is, at what point do we admit that these studios are working on costumes and content, whether it's cosmetic or not? They're working on this content, and some of it was probably available early on. They work all this content that they're working on, and none of it's available to you unless you're spending money, 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 money until the point where you're at $1,700. It's crazy, bro. Like, I get it. It's all cosmetics. I get it. That's why I said, you want to buy the game for the gameplay? Go ahead. Perfectly fine. Do what you want to do. But I just think that it's absolutely crazy, this level of monetization. I also think that it's a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Predatory, in a way. I think it's a little predatory in a way. Because, unfortunately, we do live in a world where there are people that can't control themselves. And I think these studios absolutely know that. And I think they take advantage of that. And again, it's not just Dead or Alive. I want to be very clear. I know there's a bunch of video games out there that do this stuff. Like, I know you guys are mentioning in the chat, Train Simulator has over $2,000 worth of DLC. That's insane. I'm sorry. That's insane. I don't care how much you love Train Simulator. That's insane. You know? But this is just what they do. And it really is very, very sad. So they're getting felted for it. And again, the numbers aren't even that great. So I wonder, like, you released this game with $1,700 worth of DLC. $1,700. You released more DLC and you have a higher dollar amount than you do concurrent players. So who exactly are you selling this to? I guess you're hoping that there's one or two whales that'll buy everything. It's probably what's going to happen. And then aren't they working on the next Dead or Alive? Didn't they tease Dead or Alive 7 during one of the showcases? Pretty sure they did. So what's going to happen there? Is it going to release with only 400 DLCs? It's crazy, bro. I just can't. I can't, man. I can't look at this and say, like, yeah, that's okay. Again, I don't care if it's cosmetics. I don't give a shit. It shows the mindset of the studio where they're more focused on making costumes and making sure they sell DLC at egregious numbers than they are actually making content for the game. Imagine if they spent even half of the amount of time focusing on content and gameplay additions instead of focusing on costumes and stuff. They must have a lot of developers working on costumes to release this much shit. It's just crazy, man. Now, yeah, exactly. Like, I know they're gonna have like a 95% off sale at some point. They're gonna include all the DLC, at like 90% off at some point. I'm sure that's gonna happen. It still doesn't make it right, though. It doesn't make it right. This is the content that makes money, though. Okay, I guess. Does it though? Like, are you really making money like that though? At 1,037 concurrent players, how many sales? Estimated 13 to 14,000 sales. How much is this game? This game's $40 entry. Yeah, it's a $40 entry because they want to get you on the DLCs. I don't know, man. I don't think it's making money like that. And I know Koei Tecmo. I mean, look, Koei Tecmo right now is at 85% off on Steam. 85% off on Steam right now. I guess this is them just nickel and diming any little bit that they possibly can from any amount of people that they get. Because even like with the fighting games, they don't really get that high of concurrent player counts anyway, unless they're like a super popular IP, like maybe Dragon Ball or something like that, or Street Fighter. That's fine. Or even Tekken at this point. Tekken's pretty popular. So like, I get that. But dude, it's like the least popular video games are charging the most. Like, how much in DLCs does Street Fighter have? How much does Street Fighter have? Out of curiosity. I know these motherfuckers got DLCs. They got 12 DLCs listed. 41 packages. I don't really know what any of this is. I'm sure it's nowhere near as much, right? What about Tekken? Let's see. Damn, Tekken's at 54% on Steam. Holy fuck. Ouch, man. That's rough. 33 DLCs. You got a bunch of characters, customization packs, and all that stuff. Still nowhere near as much. Damn, why is Tekken getting fucking wrecked on Steam, bro? But anyway, this is definitely like the more popular video games, obviously. So, what does Street Fighter do on Steam out of curiosity? Yeah, 72,977. It's got a 24-hour peak of 37,000. Yeah, so it's just interesting. The least popular video games are the one charging the most egregious amounts of DLC. It's actually kind of interesting. I guess because again, they can't make the money on the sales of the product, so they got to make the money off the people who like whoever actually buys it. You know, Dead or Alive last round has 1,056 of DLC. Wait, no hearts left. I thought you were watching Epic Mike. Why are you here? I thought you were watching Epic Mike. Sims got all the DLC. Let's look at the Sims. I know the Sims is fucking egregious. The Sims got 64 DLCs with all kinds of packs. And these are not cheap. All right, look at his shit. The laundry day stuff. The backyard stuff. They literally just call it stuff. The spooky stuff. Romantic garden stuff. Bowling night stuff. Cool kitchen stuff. Mosquito stuff. Luxury party stuff. My first pet stuff. Perfect pet. Wow, bro. Stuff. Shit. Stuff. Laundry. Yeah, stuff maxing. This is stuff. Dine out stuff. Fitness stuff. Vintage glamour stuff. Realm of Magic stuff. Parenthood stuff. Oh shit, they got the BLM stuff. That's crazy. Vampire stuff. Strangerville stuff. Outdoor retreat. Wait, no stuff? Why no stuff? Get to work stuff. Oh shit. That's funny. Get together stuff. Well, they're not even called stuff at that point anymore. Yeah, it's wild, man. It's wild. But anyway, I just saw it and I'm like, bro, 1,700 no gay stuff? I don't know. Is there gay stuff? Is there gay stuff? I'm sure there is somewhere. There's got to be gay stuff. Life of the Party, maybe that one? No. Paranormal stuff. Bust the Dust. Hey, yo. Let me see. No, I don't see any. I'm sure it's there somewhere. Oh, you know what? Is it Pride stuff? I don't see Pride stuff. You know what it is though? I'll tell you why there's probably not any gay stuff. You want to know why? It's because companies have gotten so fucking felted over trying to obviously profit off of the virtue signaling to gays that they started putting it in for free. If you noticed, they tried to charge you for LGBTQ content in stuff like Call of Duty and also Halo. And then for the last few years, they've been offering it for free instead now because they don't want to get accused of them trying to profit off of, because these companies want LGBTQ people to believe that they actually care about them or care about their social cause. So once the LGBTQ people finally got smart and said, well, you guys are just trying to make money off us, now they started offering that shit for free and basically taxing everybody else on the other stuff. That's kind of how it goes now. So it always costs them more than it's made. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So very interesting. Yeah, I'm sure it's in the base game, which again kind of goes into the point where it's all free. Well, free-ish anyway. Look up Train Simulator. Oh man. Okay, this will be the last one. Train Simulator. Let's see. Let's look it up. Train Simulator. This one? Train Simulator Classic. Let's see. 70%. All right. Brother! 1,320 DLCs? Wait, you motherfuckers riding trains like that? You guys riding trains like that, bro? 1,320 DLCs? 290 packages? Are you fucking kidding me? Bro, what is this shit worth? Like $5,000? Look at this. Store packages. New York, New Haven route, $9.99 at 60% off? Pacific Surfliner, San Diego, $7.99 at 60% off? Bro, who's buying this shit? Who's buying this shit? Are you guys really riding trains like that? I mean, you're probably not going to admit it in the chat. Let's be real. London, Peterborough to Class 321 Twin Pack, $15.99 at 60% off. This is $10,000 worth of DLC? No. No. No, bro. $10,000 worth of DLC? No. Holy shit, bro. And again, I just want to remind people, this is why these other, like, when these studios study this stuff, because keep in mind, like, they study this shit, right? They study this stuff. So they actually look into what other video games are getting away with, what other video games are successfully doing. They look into their monetization strategies. Why do you think everybody adopted Fortnite's Battle Pass strategy? The way that they had it set up, the way that they priced everything in their store. They specifically priced everything in their store so that most of the items that you wanted on their store, you couldn't buy unless you actually spent more money for more points or whatever that you actually needed. They made sure that they did it so that you always had to buy a bigger bundle in order to have enough to buy the item that you actually wanted. They would just shortchange it just enough so that you had to buy the next tier and spend more money. So they all pay attention to this stuff. And I feel like these video games are the reason why other studios feel like they could get away with more egregious monetization, even though they don't go as far. Like, they don't do 1,300 DLCs, but you'll have AAA video games with $100 million plus budgets trying to do similar monetization if they could get away with it. You know, it's actually kind of crazy. iDog says hypnotic train simulators for train hobbyists who don't have the room and the money to build a model train set. Yeah, I get that. I totally get that, right? I get that there are some things that people don't have the physical space for, right? Like, I collect physical manga. I totally understand if somebody wants to collect manga digitally. I get that. I don't advocate for that, but I get that, right? I totally get that. But there's a certain point where you're spending so much money on one video game. And I understand, like, I get it, but it's like, bro, this is gonna go away at some point. It is. It may be around for a long time. It maybe even be around till some of these people die. But it's like, dude, man, this much money, $10,000 worth of DLC. I think that's crazy. I do. I hope that there are people out there that didn't spend that much money. I mean, don't get me wrong, this looks cool. It said it came out in 2015, this particular game. It looks cool, but again, that much DLC. I don't know, man. I also have a problem with this CS:GO. Well, there's a reason why I don't take, bro, Arepa. This is the reason why I don't participate in the CS:GO or the Counter-Strike 2 bullshit. What do you call it? Like the keys and the chests and the boxes and stuff. There's a reason why I don't participate in that. I just play Counter-Strike the same way I've always played Counter-Strike for so many years, free. You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, true. Well, back in the day, you had to pay for Counter Strike. You had to buy it one time, but still, like, now it's free. Like, I don't buy into that craziness. Like, it's insane. It's crazy how many people buy into Counter Strike. Now, some of them will cope and they'll tell you, well, the reason why I'm spending this much is because I could sell it for more. Like, some of the rare skins sell for a lot of money in Counter Strike, but that's gambling, bro. Well, it's like basically like a form of gambling, in a way. It's not actual, real, legitimate gambling, but it's a form of it. Like, you can argue it's a little bit like it. It gets people really addicted. That's one of the things I've always criticized Counter Strike for, is like that whole loot box nonsense. I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. Never liked it. Never will like it. It's just insane to me. I remember the days where I would modify my skins. Where actually, when I used to do mods, I would just download mods. If I wanted to change a skin for my weapon, I'd just download mods, bro. Who gives a fuck? Just download mods. But, obviously nobody else can see your mods. Only you can see it on your screen. But who cares? I used to download weapon skins with different sound effects and stuff, especially for like the AK-47. I would always do that. But anyway, the point is, I run into issues with this because even though this is egregious, $10,000 worth of DLC, I also advocate for people playing the game that makes them happy, right? So, like, if this game makes you happy and you find happiness in adding model train sets and all that shit, I can't, like, even though I can't endorse the microtransactions, I also can't get mad at you if this is your only video game that you like and this is what you play. And it's such a it's such a tough, like, I don't know, give and take kind of situation, because yeah, if someone's happy, that's great for them. But then at what point do you say, bro, are you really gonna spend this much money on one video game? I don't know, man. But there's some people out there that'll do it. So This is probably why they don't allow mods on consoles. Oh yeah, for sure, because they don't want mods on consoles because then people will not pay for the skins and stuff that they sell on the consoles. This is why the consoles are very closed. They're very, very closed, you know? Gotta support what you love to play. That's another thing, too. Like, if you really love this game and you love the developers and you love what they've given you and you want to give them $10,000, I mean, I don't know. Like, who am I to tell you what to do with your money? But unfortunately, even though I can't tell you what to do with your money, ultimately, what you do with your money does slowly but surely affect what other studios will do with their content and thus trying to get more money out of everybody else. You know? So it all goes in a circle. It's rough. Talk to the dudes who spent like 30K on MBK. Yeah, I said that before. There was somebody who spent like $35,000 on NBA 2K in like 3 months and then made a video about it, talking about it. And he's like, yeah, I think that was a bad idea. And then does it again. He does it again because he's addicted to it. It's crazy, bro. One of the games you own has 355 DLCs. Damn, Mr. Rouge. That's insane.